Hey everybody, this is ViolinguyGolf coming to you again here from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, so we're doing a tutorial today. As you can see here, I've got a few golf courses I'm working on. This Egg Harbor is the one that I'm working on right now, big time. That's going to be kind of a linksy course. Destiny Dunes is kind of an experimental links course that I'm working on. Stableford. I've been working on Stableford Meadows Golf Club for a long time, and I decided to just reboot the whole thing and start again. But Tutorial Hills is our course that we are going to work on, and today we're going to be working on getting a hole finished, so to speak. And when I say finished, I mean the green is there, the fairway's there, the bunkers are there. Okay, we're going to talk about sculpting and elevation stuff another time. The other thing we're going to talk about today is settings. All right, now I tend to get a little long-winded in these things, so I want to try to keep this, under 20 minutes if possible, because I don't want people to be like, oh yeah, what did he say about the thing? Yeah, so I'm here with my coffee. I hope you all are too. Let's get going. So what we've done so far in episode 1, we laid out 2 golf holes, picked our theme, and all of that. In episode 2, we put down a fairway. I went ahead and finished the fairway. It doesn't look spectacularly great, but it's okay. All right, so, but I did take away the rough. So if you've got trees in your way, I like to take away the heavy rough and whatnot. There's the green right there. Okay, so I like to take away the trees that are in my... I like to take away the rough, excuse me. Okay, usually before I put down the fairway, but in this case we decided to do it after. So anyways, we're also going to put down some new tee positions, talk about that too. But if you have trees in your way, go to Sculpt Land. I like to use clear generated objects because if there's anything else there, grass, bushes, whatever, it's going to get rid of that too. Choose a brush, make that brush bigger. Okay, we're going to choose this brush actually because it'll, okay, and we're going to get rid of everything in our way. And it's going to go bye-bye. All right, so that's better. Now we have a clear shot. Let's see, we got anything up here? This tree I think is, we got to get rid of those. Okay, and there's a few up by the green. Okay, we don't want this. Later on, I might go ahead and add some trees to make things a little more interesting. Make golfers have to hit a fade or a draw. But for now, let's go ahead. Oops, I didn't get that one in there. Let's get rid of all these. See if we can do it in one shot. Go. That one's still there. No biggie. Okay. So the other thing you can find in the Sculpt section, Sculpt Land, is measuring tape. Very important. Here's a very small green. Remember, we changed our green size. Okay, it's almost 20 yards wide. 20 yards to me is about the minimum depth width, whatever you want to have. 20 by 20 if it were square. We're going to obviously make this bigger. Okay, we got some fairway there. All right, so what we're going to do, create surfaces, green, brush. Okay, obviously we're not going to have a square green. Okay. For this one, we're actually going to use this. We're going to make it a little smaller. Now, you don't want to have perfectly round greens, okay? That's rare that happens. So I like to take the existing shape and then kind of overlap it but leave a little bit out. So let's see what this looks like. And if you don't like it, hit X on Xbox to undo it. I think I like this fine. That's a very common shape for a green. Looks good. Let's go ahead and measure that guy. Make sure he's okay. And, oh yeah, nice, medium, large size green there. If you really want to get fancy, you can go ahead and connect. Let's go ahead and connect the green to the fairway. I like this shape. This shape is a very, very useful shape. I try not to use shapes all the time. Now remember, after we put that down, we gotta go ahead and choose. I'm sorry, I use shapes. Oops. Oh, jeez. Again, if you do something you didn't mean to do, go ahead and hit on undo with X button, or I think that is square on PlayStation. So we're gonna make this bigger. Remember, we're gonna make some rough, and I forgot to do that around the green. That's my bad. Okay, so now we've got fairway that goes all the way to the green. Again, this ain't perfect, but for purposes of tutorial, let's go ahead and do that. Now, okay, let's talk about bunkers. Okay, bunkers need to guard where, where a golfer might hit a stray shot. So here we are, 281. Okay, 281 from the back tees. Well, right now from the only tees, and we're going to fix that in a second. 281 is a good, 279 is the carry for tour clubs. So that's not a bad spot for a bunker. Bunkers you always want to put on the inside of a dog leg. All right. Let's choose a nice, cool shape for a bunker. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make bunkers that look better than just, again, you don't want to just put down the default brushes like this. Okay, yes, a lot of bunkers look like this. Okay, if you go to a golf course, any golf course in the world is going to have a bunker that looks like that. That's why they have that for a standard brush. Okay, now what I like to do, though, is you want to go ahead and overlap these brushes a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so that you can make a bunker that, okay, there's a good-looking bunker. Okay, that is more of a customized shape. Okay, let's see, how far is that away? See this little, you put the cursor, as we'll call it, right on there. That's 262. That's perfect. If you snap hook one off the tee, you might hit it there. Or if you're trying to cut the dog leg off and you hit the tree, whatever. Okay, so now here's a big rule that unfortunately not a lot of designers go by is, can I see that bunker from back here? No, I cannot. Okay, this is not going to be a link style golf course, obviously. Look at all the trees we got. So here's what we need to do. We need to sculpt land, landscape rise, or raise. Yeah, raise. Choose one of the brushes. I like this one. The edges are kind of soft. Go ahead and do this. Okay, and what's going to happen is everything inside there that's not blue, it's going to keep it's already, it's going to keep the elevation work that's there. It's going to keep oops, I went the wrong way, but we want to lower the whole thing. Oops, that's going to be too low. Let's do this. We're going to, lower this. Oh, that's going to make a lake, isn't it? Okay, so what we're going to need to do, we need to lower it a little bit, which we did. Okay, if we lower it too much, then we're going to wind up with water. Now, can we see it now? Almost. So obviously we're going to make the tee box a little higher. But then the other thing you need to do is come out here, sculpt, raise again. Now we got to use the fuzzy brush, as they call it. Oops, I forgot to choose brush. Choose brush, make it a little smaller. Okay, and let's go ahead and put just a little bit here. Like 3-4 feet. Okay, and that's going to kind of raise that up. All right, we're going to talk about bunkers in another tutorial, but it's very, very important that bunkers, yeah, you got to lower bunkers, but you also got to, adding elevation to bunkers is just important as taking them away. All right, so anyways, we got a bunker. Now the green should have bunkers too. Okay, let's see how far away. Let's say we hit it, 285, 290, 290, something like that. Now we've got how far? $155, not very far. So this can have a few bunkers around it. Let's go ahead and create surfaces, some more bunkers, brush. I like this brush. This brush is cool. Bunkers, I like bunkers with fingers. Okay, fingers are where you have the things that come out that you can then raise. See how that central section, you can go ahead and raise that up. But I don't want to just put that shape there. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of shapes. Oops, that's going to look like a big old penis if I do that. So we don't want that necessarily. Let's get a different shape then. I have, unfortunately, a tendency to make too many bunkers that look like big old dongs. And you know what? That's, kind of a... All right, that looks a little bit bigger. Maybe my mind's in the gutter. That still don't look totally PG-13. But anyways, there's your bunker. You're going to raise that. You're going to raise that. Okay, so let's put a bunker over here too. Now, there's a lot of shapes to choose from. You got some of these whacked out ones. Obviously, you wouldn't just put this because everybody knows that shape exists. So one of the things I like to do is use this one. Okay, now let's see. If you don't make it big enough, you're not going to get all the little things. That's a perfect right there. So that's not quite enough, though. Let's make sure that we add a little to it. And kaboom! We have a better looking bunker. Okay, so here's our two bunkers. Okay, that protects the front and the sides of the green there. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, tees. Okay, so here we have this. This is the red tee. Okay, the red tee is the default. So every time you look at a tee or you look at a distance, like this hole is this many yards. Okay, that's taken from the red tees usually. Okay, so, okay, add tee position. So we're going to put the red tees. See, it kind of defaults back to the red tees because they're always going to be further up. I like to put a goodly distance between tees. Okay, so we're going to put that there. I also like to offset the angle a little bit for, purposes of, of varieties, so you can play different tees at different angles. Okay, and now, you can also see 2 green this much. If you really want to get crazy, you can go over here and say, okay, how far is this now? 330. I like about 100 yards, maybe even a little bit more. And the forward tee should also, I like to make it so there's not that much of a dog leg, so that the forward tee for less advanced players, they can hit more of a straight shot. Okay, I'm not going to call it the ladies tee because we're in 2017 and we don't do that anymore, I guess. Right, so, all right, there you got tees. Okay, we're not going to flatten them or do anything yet. That's elevation work that we're going to talk about for next time. Okay, quickly, because I'm running out of time so as to not make this too long. All right, the other thing you need to do before you do any elevation work, and trust me, I've done it the other way and it is a huge mistake. The other thing you got to do is you got to do your course settings. Okay, and I like to do it here from this menu. This is the main menu, the one that starts with Playtest. So let's go down here, course settings. And first thing I'm going to do is set the green settings. Okay, don't worry about any of this stuff because, we'll work on textures. The textures that are used here actually aren't too bad, so we'll use these. I'll go and show you guys maybe in the next video about textures. Mow pattern, we're not going to worry about that. But firmness we are going to worry about. So, green firmness. Normal is 40. You could turn that up if you want, up to whatever. I haven't made a golf course with 1. Okay, so most of mine, I like to put it about, right at 70, which is the slowest, which is the least firm of the firms. Okay, for this one, we're going to go a little lower. We're going to go ahead and normal on this at, kind of a firm normal. Okay, and then green speed. Green speed is something that you can't necessarily see from here. But I can tell you that once you get up into like the 7 area, okay, now you got fast greens. Okay, we're going to turn this one to about 6.5. Okay, and then we're going to see what is what, because we're going to play test this guy now, even though it's not, nearly finished. All right, so green bunkers, we have flag texture. We'll do that another time. So we set the green. Now let's go ahead and set fairway settings, mow pattern, blah, blah, blah. Terrain firmness. Now, this has a big impact on how far guys can hit the ball and what happens when they hit some of the humps and bumps in your fairway. So we're going to bump this up a little bit. Let's just bump it up to 50. Okay, still normal. Okay, I like to use, on my courses, I like to use a little bit more firm fairways, a little bit more firm greens, but not excessive green speed. All right, so I think what we've done is pretty basic settings here. We're not going to talk about rough and all that other stuff. So before you do anything, save, and save often. Last night I had just created this awesome like bunker waist area, very Pete Dye looking cool thing, and then my wife accidentally hit the wrong switch, turned off all the power to this room. And we always want to play from the back. And I lost everything. Okay, during the hurricane, man, I was saving left and right because I didn't know if the power was going to go out. All right, obviously this is not finished in any way, but we want to play test it to see, see how we're doing. Okay, pretty long hole actually. You got to hit it pretty good to get it to that dog leg. So we're gonna put a little thing on it there. Okay, oops, I was fast. So I'm gonna hit this in the fotch, and that ain't so good. Oh, that's terrible. So the beautiful thing about play testing is if you do something like that, just go into your menu, rewind. Da, 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 da. Unlimited mulligans when you're play testing. All right, let's have another go at that. And much better. Although it didn't really give me too much draw, that's fine. How far did we hit it? We hit it, just remember what we said? We hit it 290, which is what we were talking about. Okay, right now the fairway is beautifully done. We're going to do something to fix this because I can't see the green, and we don't want too many of those kind of shots. Okay, what I'm doing this for right now is I want to see what the green speed is. Okay, so, all right, now we're on the green. Not a bad shot that, the green held because we kept the settings low. And what is it for 144? Okay, that's way too slow. Okay, that's pretty slow when it comes to greens. Okay, most like kind of standard green speeds that I'm seeing are more like 155 is a pretty standard. 157. Most of mine are in the 160 something range. Okay, oh, nice putt. Slow greens, gotta remember slow greens. So 187 is the fastest they go. If you are a new designer or you're on your first 1 or 2 golf courses, you haven't used the designer a whole lot, do not do 187 for golf. For greens. I would argue that no golf course should have 187 greens unless it's a recreation of a course that we know the greens are that fast. Like if you're doing, like Bethpage or you're doing Augusta, Kiowa Island, some of these golf courses that are insane fast, Olympic, some of these kind of golf courses, Shinnecock Hills, oh my gosh, okay. When you're done playtesting, by the way, go back to edit course. So don't do that. I would say that if you're doing an original golf course or a fantasy or that's not a recreation of an existing golf course, I would say you want to go ahead and keep it in the 150 to 160 range because that's fair. And designing greens, when you're talking about slopes and things, which we will talk about here in maybe not the next episode, but the one after that, we'll talk about making greens. And elevation stuff. So, stay away from the high green speeds if you can, okay? So, that's pretty much it. This golf hole, it ain't perfect, but we've got a playable golf hole. We've got all the hazards on there that we want. A couple of nice looking bunkers, the R-rated one there. And, we need to flatten our tees out. But, we've got a hole here because I've run overtime again. My goodness gracious, I just blah, 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 blah. I hope this was helpful to you guys. We're going to come back and we're going to work on some elevation stuff. We're going to work on some flattening at tee boxes, flattening the green complex. We're going to work on setting pins, and we're going to work on some other stuff next time. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all did well through the hurricane. I did. Thank you. And I hope you all guys are doing great. Follow me on Twitch. I'm on Twitch right now broadcasting, and no one's watching. But people will watch as they realize what awesome videos I make. You guys have a great day, and stay good, stay healthy, do some nice design work. Do your best work, okay? Don't design garbage, okay? Do your best work. Put out the best golf course that you possibly can. I hope you guys are playing well. If you're on TGC tours or any of the societies, play great. Enjoy it. This is a game. It's going to be fun. Have as much fun as you possibly can because that's what it is. All about. If you're not having fun, then you really should probably stop playing. So, okay, that's enough philosophy from me. Violin Guy is out, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.